Hey everybody! In the last video, I made cabanosi, a delightful snack stick that some books and websites out there call Polish hunter sausage. And they are fantastic little snack sticks that I highly recommend, so definitely check out that video on the channel. But some people pointed out that there's another Polish hunter sausage out there. So today I'm making the sausage that actually translates to hunter. I'm making this Polish Myśliwska sausage that everyone's gonna love. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the meat for the recipe today. And of course, I've got some wonderful venison from the last couple of hunting seasons. And I've trimmed that up and got all the heavy silver skin off of there. And for my fat, I've got some fatty pork belly. And I'm aiming for a 25% fat content on this one. And when you're using pork belly, you're gonna get some lean meat along with the fat. So I do a little bit of estimating when adding it in. I weigh it up and I'll simply add in another lump of fat to make up for the lean meat in the belly. However, if I were making a particular sausage on a regular basis and I really wanted to dial that recipe in, I would strip all of the fat from the lean and formulate the recipe using pure, clean fat. But this is home cooking and a little eyeballing is fine with me. Now, for the grind today, I'm going to use a couple of different plates. For the fat and a portion of that lean venison, I'm using a fairly fine 4.5 millimeter plate. But I also want some nice chunky bits in there. And if I were making an all pork sausage, I'd use a big old 13 millimeter plate for the chunks, or even hand cut the lean pork into 1/2-inch cubes. But we don't have boars to hunt. I hunt deer, and that venison isn't going to be quite as tender as pork. So for my chunky bits, I'm just going to go up to this 10 millimeter plate, and hopefully those chunks won't be too chewy. Now, everything here is icy cold and cubed up, so now let's wake up gnarls and grind this hunter's hot dog. I just need to get a final weight on my smooth and chunky grind here. And then I'll work up the spice bill. This is a very simply seasoned sausage, just a few spices going in this one today. And I have weighed out all of my ingredients, but I will put both a metric and volumetric recipe here on the screen, as well as in the description of the video. So for the curing ingredients, I've got some salt and some cure, and that is pink cure number 1. And for flavoring, I've got some fresh garlic, which I'm gonna press into the sausage. Optionally, you could put that in a food processor or a blender with a little bit of water. I've got some pepper, and this is 50-50 white pepper and black pepper, but either white or black pepper alone will do just fine. And here I have got some juniper. And I do love using a little bit of juniper in a lot of wild game recipes because it does give it kind of that flavor of the forest, but it is strong stuff. So go easy on it or you're gonna have to throw some olives in there as well because this thing's gonna taste like a martini. And I did grind the juniper berries and the peppercorns fresh so they will have lots and lots of flavor, but if pre-ground is all you can get, that's gonna work too. I'm going to be using a little binder today, and this is non-fat powdered milk, just regular grocery store variety. You can use high heat powdered milk if you like. It's going to give you a little more binding potential, but the regular stuff is tried and true, and it's completely optional as well. And finally, I've just got some water for mixing. And feel free to substitute beer or wine. Now it's time to mix this one up. Now when you're mixing it up, the first thing you're going to notice is your meat is going to begin to stiffen up. And then as you continue to crank on it, it's going to start to look different. It's going to get a real shaggy look to it. And then it's going to become very sticky. And that nice sticky meat mix will let you know that you're going to get a good bind. So no matter what method you use for mixing your meat, you wanted to give it a good, thorough, and long mixing. Ooh, there is a lot of nice garlic aroma coming off of that. Looking good. And now this goes into the refrigerator overnight to let that cure work its magic, and we will be back here bright and early on another Sausage Sunday to crank out this Stalker's salami. It is bright and early on another scintillating Sausage Sunday. My garlicky meat mix is thoroughly cured now, and I am going to be using 30mm natural hog casings today, and these have been rinsed and soaked. And with those, I've got my 20mm stuffing horn loaded up and ready to go. And like always, my bad dude,
Corn Pop was a bad dude,
is on standby to crack any air pockets that form while I am cranking this one out. So now it is time to lock and load and crank out this sporting salam. into the sausage closet where our sausages are now hanging to dry those casings out. I want to get these natural casings very dry for this recipe, so I'm going to leave them hanging in here. It's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit in there. And I've got the fan going beneath these, and we'll let these dry out for 2 hours, and then we'll get them out into some nice cool smoke. It's been a couple hours here in the sausage closet, and those look nice and dry, and they're actually already starting to get some color on them. And that's what I want with this recipe. This should be a really dark colored sausage when I'm done with it. So now they're dry, I'm going to get them out and get them into the smoker. Now we're out and into the smoker, and this is going to be a simple 2-stage cook today. We're going to start them low at about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to put pretty heavy smoke on them for 90 minutes to 2 hours depending on color. And after that, I'm going to raise them right up to the final cook temperature of 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to cook them off fairly quickly to an internal temperature of 155 degrees. And the reason we're jumping up to that cook stage earlier than normal is that this is a sausage that should be kind of crinkly and crunchy and kind of roasted almost on the outside. So by jumping them up there quick, they'll cook hotter for a little bit longer, and that should get us what we're looking for. And I am running a blend of hickory and applewood today. That is it for our low smoke time. You can see the color that these are getting. Nice and dark. So now, I'll get my temperature probe down into one of these guys. We're going to raise that smoker up to 180 degrees and cook these off to an internal temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit.
3 hours later.
I just hit that internal temperature I was looking for. Now let's take a peek at what we've got. Oh, that is a real nice color. Oh, they feel nice and firm. So, now we got to get them right out of here and down into a cold water bath. Look at those beauties. And this water is icy cold. I just want to soak them down in there for a few minutes to stop any carryover cooking. Then we'll get them out of that water bath and back in the sausage closet to air dry. As soon as these cool down and dry off, they are good to go. But you can also let them hang for a few days if you want a little bit drier sausage, and that can give you a little bit of a crunchier casing too. I'm going to let these hang in here for a couple of days, maybe up to 3 days. And when they're looking about how I want them to be, then we're going to try these out. Take a look at that. Semi-dry, so it's got that crinkly look that I was after. A dark red color is a thing of beauty, and it smells phenomenal. Let's take a look at the grain. Very nice. We've got those beautiful little pearls of fat floating around in the mix, and some nice big chunks of deer. That looks perfect to me. Of course, what really matters is the taste. Check out that bite. Let me hit that one more time. Oh yeah. Now that is a proper good sausage. It is simple but robust in flavor with a crackin' casing. The garlic really stands out. I feel like it would be good if I went heavy on the pepper blend, maybe even twice as much as I used. But that would be a different sausage. And this is really nice. I don't pick up a lot of juniper flavor, which is a good thing, but that flavor of the forest is definitely there in the aftertaste. Kind of lingers on the tongue. I like this a lot, and that little bit of extra drying is going to keep this stable for longer without refrigeration. This is going to be a great little pocket sausage. You could easily pack this around for a few days on your hunt, whip it out and eat it without any cooking needed. But it is also going to be wonderful back at camp, cooked straight up, or in a big pot of campfire beans, or beagles, or choucroute like this, which are all recipes I'd be happy to do on the channel if anyone's interested. I haven't done a home cooking video in a while, and home cooking has always been the heart and soul of the channel. Shoot, I may just make some of those recipes regardless, because part of having the channel and making the videos is keeping a catalog of recipes for myself. I just hope you guys like them too, and I can share some good food with everybody. And as always, I hope you try this, and if you do, I know you're gonna love it. Thanks for watching.